Welcome to the Collide Kids Podcast, hosted by Kristen Clark. This is a show for kids and families. You are going to meet new people and have fun while you listen. Let's do it!
Hey, y'all, welcome to the Collide Kids Podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Clark. The Collide Kids Podcast is a show for kids and families where we learn together how life and faith collide. I'm so glad you're listening today, and I'm very sorry to let you know that this is actually our last episode for this season before we take a break for the summer. Ever since I started this show in 2020, I've tried to treat the summer as kind of a Sabbath season for the podcast. So it's a time for me to slow down, to rest, spend time with my family, to pray and really seek the Lord about what he wants this ministry and this show to look like moving forward. I also just wrapped up my other show, 7-Minute Devotions for Busy Parents podcast, where I'm going through our identity in Christ through the book of Ephesians. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go start at the beginning and work your way through the series. There's 61 episodes that should get you through the summer. That might be a great devotional that you can have on the go as you're traveling or headed to the pool or whatever some activities you have on your plate this summer. So we'll be back at the end of the summer with a brand new season for both shows and some exciting new episodes. And honestly, I can't wait to share what's ahead. There's lots of things brewing. There's lots of things I'm planning on and working on. So I'm really excited. And I just want to thank you so much for being a part of this show, for this community, for listening, sharing episodes, supporting the show, and just allowing me to speak into your family and your faith journey. It really does mean so much to me. Well, for today's episode, I'm excited to introduce our guest, Megan Bohinc. Megan is a licensed mental health therapist from Atlanta and a proud dog mom to her high-energy Weimaraner named Rain. I hope I said that right. Together, Megan and Rain create fun and engaging content on social media all about dog sports, training, and their adventures together. Megan has loved animals ever since she was little, but she discovered dog sports about 5 years ago and quickly fell in love with it. Through training and learning and competing together, Megan and Rain have built a strong bond and found an amazing community along the way. So today, Megan is passionate about helping kids and families discover fun ways to stay active, build confidence, and connect more deeply with their dogs. So this was such a fun and unique conversation, and I think your family is really going to love this conversation, especially if you love animals or you have pets. So let's jump into today's episode. Here's my conversation with Megan Bohinc. Well, I am so excited to have Megan on the podcast today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is awesome. I'm so excited to welcome you to the show. And I met you through your sister, Ashley, who was on the podcast last year. So I love families coming all around the Collide Kids podcast.
Families got to stick together.
That's right. That's right. Would you just introduce yourself for our listeners? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Megan Bohinc. I am a social influencer. I make content for social media with my dog about dog sports, and my dog's name is Rain, and she's a Weimaraner.
That's so fun. I love that your job includes your dog.
Right? It's just amazing.
That's the best. And you're an influencer, so you're on social media a lot talking about what you do.
Yep. And I mean, my background is in marriage and family therapy, a licensed therapist, and so I got Rain to be a therapy dog so she could come to my office, help with my patients, be like an emotional support animal in the office. I got her for that. But, you know, sometimes we are good at things and sometimes we're not. And so she loves treats and she loves her people, but she doesn't love like strangers, like hugging her. Like her personal bubble is like bigger than most dogs. And so I think that I decided, I don't think this is where you're at. You know, this is not your gift. This is not what God wanted for you. And so who would have thought, like literally because that door closed for being a therapy dog, it opened to be us both getting into dog sports and then being able to help others get into it and learn about it. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love that. Okay, I can't wait to talk about this. But before we do that, because this is a show for kids, I always ask my guests to tell me a joke or something funny. So what do you have for us today?
So I love asking, if your dog could talk, what would they sound like? And I ask this because I started doing this with my friend's dog. She has two. And I swear her one is like Queen, like Elizabeth, like British, like proper. And then her other one is like Scooby-Doo, it's just so different from each other, but it just works. So do you have a dog, and what do they sound like?
Yes. So it's funny too, because I have a dog right now. His name is Arlo. And then we had a dog years ago. His name is Levi. And Levi was the dog from Up. Like that was, we watched Up and we're like, it's Levi. Like we're watching him. He looked like him. He acted like him. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
But Arlo, he's a little more scrappy, but he's just like, hey guys, how's it going? Like he's just that energy, and so we always make stuff for him. And like, he does the quirkiest stuff. And so we always give him voices and things that he's probably saying right now. So I love that your friend though has a British accent. That's great.
Right? Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about how you talked about how you decided for Rain that therapy wasn't her gift. So how did you jump from therapy to sports? Like, how did you know that was the right fit for her?
We were in a class to work on becoming a certified therapy dog. And so it was like higher level obedience, training. And so then people started talking about different dog sports. Like I learned literally like there's so many. I swear every week I learn a different dog sport. And I'm like in this realm, like this community. And so there's just so many different ones. And so when I got Rain, the breeder was like, she needs a job. She's a high energy dog, working dog. Like she needs a job. And she was 100% correct. Like every morning she brings her blanket out from the bedroom to her bed in the family room. And then every night she brings her blanket back from the family room to her bed in the bedroom. That's like her job. Like she made this job up for herself, Like,
I love that.
And so because we weren't doing therapy, like her becoming a therapy dog, I was like, okay, what can we do? Like she needs something. We need something to do. And so we kind of just like fell into this. Like I feel like God kind of does that. And he closes one door and you're just like, look around and you're like, how did I get here? Like, this is awesome. Like, what happened? And so I think that just like learning about different things and different ones and figuring out which ones we loved, both Rain and I, and which ones maybe either I wasn't talented in or great at, or she wasn't great at. And so I think we're on our like ninth or 10th like sport that we've tried, and we consistently do like 4 or 5 of them. So it's been really, really fun.
That's cool. Okay, so when I'm thinking of dog sports, I'm thinking like dog shows, like the one they show on Thanksgiving. Is that like what you guys are doing?
I love that you said that, because I got my first dog and it was like a family dog, but it was like my dog. Like I took care of it. I like fed it. And so I went to a dog training class to show this dog. And that's all I knew. Like, I didn't know that there were other options. And so I think like learning about it, I think I started in like 2021. So like 5 years ago. And now I see a lot more on TV about the different ones. So it's like, I don't know if you've seen on TV, like agility. So it's like where you jump and you do tunnels and you do like a teeter-totter, and you have to do it in a certain amount of time. And there's like a course and a map that you have to do. There's like dock diving. So you jump into the water and you see how far they jump.
Okay.
Or there's like a sprint race that 100-yard sprint, and they're timed and you see how fast your dog is. So there's like all different ones and different levels of training that you need. Some you don't really need a lot of training, and some you really need a lot of training.
Okay. So what does Rain do?
So she's been the fastest Weimaraner in the last like 5 years at the sprint. So she's really, really fast. So she runs, her top speed's probably like 31, 32 miles an hour.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like in 100 yards. So like her first 50 are a little slower to get up to 31.
Right. But still.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And she's like 50 pounds and like 22 and a half at the, shoulders. So she's tiny for a whine, but she loves it. Like she loves chasing the plastic bag that's on the string that she just like loves. So she does that. We just started agility about like a year ago. And that one's a lot more training than some of our other ones. But oh my gosh, I love it. And then we do barn hunt where rats are in tubes. And you find the rats in this so I feel like it's similar to an escape room. So like you go in and you have things that you have to accomplish, like you have to do it. And so we go in and we have a certain amount of rats that we have to find. We have to go through a hay tunnel and then we have to climb on the hay bales in a certain amount of time. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. And then
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, right? Like it's really awesome. And then we also do scent work. So you may see dogs like at the airport or on movies where they're with police or with people working at the airport and they're working and looking for different odors or smells. Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of where they started this scent work. And so we're in a classroom and they highlight the odor. And so she has to tell me exactly where the odor is. And she like loves it. It's like a scavenger hunt. She has to tell me and be clear. And I'm like, alert, so it's really, really fun that we get to do that.
My other dog that I had before, Levi, he was a hunting dog. He was part beagle. So he loved to find things. So that was fun for him.
Oh my gosh, he would love the barn hunt, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Arlo is a terrier. And so we would try to get him to like find things and he didn't want to. If he found things, he would rip them up. And so that's what we've decided. He likes to rip. He likes to tear. So
there's always something for someone.
That's right. So we'll find like he'll just go and like he'll take apart the towel or like the blankets that we put in his crate.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he's just like in a destructive mood. So we'll give him a cardboard box. And he doesn't eat the cardboard. He just rips it to tiny pieces and then leaves it as a gift for us. And we're like, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. It's funny that you say that because so in scent work, they have like cardboard boxes. And so there's like 10 of the same identical boxes. And your dog has to tell you which one has the odor. And Rain is known as the box smasher because she just smashes all the box, like moves them. It's like a tornado going in and scattering them all around.
Do you train her or do you take her to places to be trained? Like if she's going to run 30 miles per hour, you can't be running with her. I mean, unless you can run really fast.
I mean, I try at agility. Like agility, I have to run with her. And I'm not. I have to work on that. So
So how do you train her to do all of these things?
Yeah, great question. So like I said, a lot of like some of them that we're doing are not a lot of training and then some have a ton of training. And so we do a lot of fetch. We do a lot of like conditioning, strength training. With agility, we go to class. We go to scent work class. So you sign up for like kind of like you have game days. It's like trial days. So like you sign up to say, hey, I'm coming to this game. And then for each of the sports, and that's kind of what you do. And so it's a little bit of me training at home a lot and then going to class to do it. And then also I think we learn a lot when we play the actual game. Like, hey, we go into the ring and it's like the timer's going and we have to like make it to the finish line at a certain time. I think I've learned a ton. I feel like just kind of playing the game and figuring out how it goes.
So what has this taught you about yourself as you're training Rain, as you're taking her to all these sports? Like what have you learned about you?
I am the weakest link of the team. And what's awesome is that Rain doesn't even know. Like she doesn't even care. She's like, treat, hot dog, what? Like I'm not great at this or I'm the weakest link of the team. But it's also, I'm having so much fun and it doesn't matter. Like this is just so fun. And I also forget as an adult how fun it is to like learn new things and like meet new people and learn new things and just like experience things that maybe you never even heard of. So I really, really love that.
That's awesome. And I love that you're getting to do that, like you said, with your best friend. So you guys are growing closer together as you're doing that. So that's really cool. What is this whole experience with training and going to all these sporting events? What does this teach you about your relationship with God?
I love inviting people in to learn about it. Like, I think Jesus, I don't know how many times he asked people, like, come follow me, come be with me. Hey, can I come to your house? Can I dine with you? Can I have dinner with you? Come walk with me, come pray with me. Like, I just love inviting people because I think people may want to do something, but they're scared about, one, how are people going to react to me? Are people going to be nice to me? Am I going to know anyone? Because like having someone invite you somewhere, it opens the door to say, hey, like, we want you here.
Right, exactly.
We want you to come and try it out. It's so fun. Come on.
I love that. You're right. And Jesus was so good at inviting people. And so sometimes I think, like we always want to be invited, but we don't think about inviting others. And so I just made a conscious decision in my life. Instead of waiting for someone to ask me, I'm going to be the asker. And it's not that I'm trying to be in control of it, but I know that's hard for some people. And so I'm like, I can get over that fear and I can just do it. It is nice to be invited, but it's also nice when you are willing to reach out to others and to invite them in. And so I love that you've learned that.
I think a lot of people think that you have to say Jesus' name or God's name in order to tell others about them. But I think that me inviting people to a game or a trial or saying, hey, come check this thing out, I think you would really love it. Or if someone I see has a ribbon because they completed, there's like titles for different sports and levels and stuff. And so they may have like a ribbon or a trophy saying, hey, congratulations, that's awesome. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
But like celebrating people and encouraging people, inviting people, I think that shares Jesus more than anything that I could even say. When you're thinking and looking at Jesus's life, he said a lot of things, but he did, I think, a lot more than he actually even said.
That's so true. And I think when we are encouraging someone else or when we are reaching out to someone else, we are extending that love that God's given to us, right? So like he's given us that encouragement and that love. And it's not for us to just hold on to selfishly. It's for us to share. Yeah. So just like you said, when you're in a position where you see someone, you don't know them, but you can be an encouragement to them or to be loving and supporting to them, that's huge. That's so good and blesses their life, even if they don't know where it comes from.
Exactly.
And I think when we are extending love and support to others, we create a relationship. And that, I think, is the most effective way to share the gospel, is to build relationships with other people so that you can share what's different about your life, what God has done. You can share your story with someone because you're getting to know them. And that's when you can have that opportunity to give Jesus away to someone else. So exactly. I love that. So let's go back to something you said earlier, that you give Rain hot dogs. What are the treats that Rain loves the most? Because I need to know this, because my dog has very specific, he has hundreds of treats that he likes. He just likes people food. But what are the treats that you give Rain that she likes the most?
Okay, so I tried to do hot dogs for only agility because like it's like the highest level of be all end all kind of thing.
Okay.
And I started doing dehydrated ones because, as you know, like hot dogs are very greasy and like wet, and so when it's in your pocket, it's not great. So hot dogs are definitely our agility treat of choice. And then I use a lot of string cheese and I cut them in like little pieces. And so I do a lot of that for like scent work and barn hunt and stuff like that. But like she literally loves everything. So
yes.
But like the higher values is like the string cheese and the hot dogs are really go-to.
My dog loves Cheerios.
Oh my gosh, I've never tried those.
Huge fan of Cheerios. And they're little, so we could do lots of training things when we were training him. training just to sit and to come and to, park it and all that stuff.
Those are important.
Yes, absolutely. He did go to doggy school and he got a little cap and gown and graduation diploma. Yeah, we were like, this is the best ever for puppy school. But yeah, so we've always used cereal with him. So if he gets off his leash and runs out of the house or does something he's not supposed to, all we have to do is shake the box of cereal and he can hear it from, I think, a mile away and he will run back. That we don't even call him. We just Arlo and we shake the box of cereal and he's at our feet in moments. So yeah, that's his favorite.
I have never heard Cheerios. I'll have to try it. See, literally, this is a great example. I learn something every time that I talk to someone.
What are some tips you could give to us dog owners of how to work on training our dog or giving our dog activity? Is there something our unprofessional dogs could do?
So I think if you're interested in getting into dog sports or something, are you wanting to get into, obedience? There's a sport about that, or sprinting, or scent work, or there's dock diving, or frisbee. There's leagues where you catch frisbees. We tried that. Rain's gift is not catching, let's just say. She's great.
You could try with the Cheerios.
Yeah, she's great at chasing, but not so much catching. And I mean, me throwing was not great either. But but just trying things, I think it's great.
Yeah.
So I think it's figuring out hey, what is something that I want to work on or interested in, or I've heard about this. Mm-hmm. I think finding a local club. So there's dog clubs all around the country, and also dog trainers or dog classes that you can look, around where you're living. That may be an option because they have different specific classes for different either sports or different goals that you want to work on or train on. Mm-hmm. YouTube is great. Social media is great to learn as well. There's online classes for dog training. I've taken a couple of those. So you don't actually even have to go somewhere physically. Mm-hmm. A really short story. I was at an agility game trial this past couple weeks ago, and a 14-year-old came with her mom, and she's never taken any classes. I don't know if she took online classes, but there was nothing around her. And so she taught herself and her dog agility. And so her and her mom came to the trial to try it. And so everyone's cheering her when she crossed the finish line and encouraging her. And the president of the club was she's also a dog trainer, was showing her and trying to teach her how to do specific things that maybe she never learned or didn't know about. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was amazing. How amazing for a 14-year-old to go to somewhere that she's never even gone to and even done and trained herself and is there. I just love that.
Yeah, that's so cool and so brave of her, like you said, to step out, not knowing what she was getting into. So good for her.
Yeah, and I love also dog sports because it's such a family activity. This weekend, I invited one of my friends and they came with their toddler in a stroller and they did the sprinting, and her and her husband did that with their toddler. And then I met a mom and a 7-year-old, and they were doing this together as an activity and as a whole family.
Yeah, the events sound like it would be so fun to attend. That would be so cool to watch. Well, Megan, this has been so fun. I've loved getting to talk with you and learning about what you do and about Rain. I think that's so cool. Before I let you go, I always ask my guests to tell me a memory from when they were a kid. So what memory do you want to share with us today?
So I was in elementary school, and we were going past a sign and it said manure, free manure. And I was like, Mom, Dad, please, can I have it? Can I have it? I love it because I loved horses growing up. I didn't have dolls. I had horses. And so I see this on a barn, free manure. And I'm like, please, I will do anything. I will take care of this. And so Mom and Dad are like, no, absolutely not. And I'm like, why? Why? And they're like, manure is poop, horse poop. And I'm like, oh, I don't want that. No,
I don't want that. So you thought it said free mare, free horse? Or what did you think it said?
I didn't know what manure was. I didn't know. And so I was like, free horse. I thought it was like a free horse, like, please, mom and dad, please. So we laugh even after 30 years about that
That's
story
amazing.
of free manure. Yeah.
I'm so glad that other families hold on to inside jokes for the rest of their lives. Like my family does that as well. So that's good.
Yeah. You have to laugh about things because it's just too good not to.
Where can our listeners find out more about you and follow you on social media?
Yeah. So we are on most of the social media platforms. Rain, like the weather, RAIN, Rain. The Weim is WEIM, short for Weimaraner, because most people can't spell it or say it. So it's Rain the Weim.
Okay, awesome. And we'll put that in our show notes so our listeners can click on that and check that out and follow you so they can see more about what you and Rain are up to these days.
Awesome.
That was awesome. That was such a great story, too, about growing up and thinking the free manure sign was a free horse. I would totally do that because I'm a sucker for a good sale. So if I saw a sign that said free, I'd probably want to check it out, whatever that was. But I don't think I want free poop. So there you go. Megan said that celebrating people, celebrating others' wins, encouraging and loving others is a great way to build relationships with people. And that gives you an opportunity to share your faith and your story of your relationship with God with someone else. She also talked about how she learned the importance of inviting people through dog sports. And just like Jesus would invite people in, she's making it a point to invite people and let them feel included and join her in the things she's doing. And she said it's so good that they get that opportunity to do that and to try new things. So I love that. If you'd like to learn more about Megan and her dog and all the fun things she's up to, you can follow her on social media at Rain the Weim. You can also head over to her website, endgamepack.com, and learn more about her dog, and all the amazing things that she is up to. So be sure to check that out. It was so great having her on the show, and it was so great having you. Thanks for listening today and listening to this last episode of this season. I hope that this season's been fun and encouraging for you. If you've missed an episode, this summer is a great time to go back and check out some of the episodes you might have missed. Some really amazing guests we've had this season, and I'm so grateful for all of them and sharing their stories. And so I think it'll really inspire you and your kids. So be sure to listen and continue to follow along this summer. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being a part of the Collide Kids podcast. I hope you have an amazing summer, and we'll see you back in August. Bye. If you love today's episode, share it with a friend and follow us on social media at Collide Kids Pod so you don't miss what's next. You can find more episodes and resources at collidekidspodcast.com and leave a quick rating and review that really helps other families find out about the show. Thanks so much for being a part of the Collide Kids podcast. And in case no one has told you today, God loves you so much. See you next time. You know, raising kids in the digital age isn't easy, but Bark Technology makes products that help parents keep their kids safe online and in real life. They have an app, a phone, and a home device that lets families set parental controls on their internet-connected devices. I love the app because it helps us manage screen time and blocks websites and apps we want our kids to avoid. It also sends alerts and gives us the ability to monitor texts and social media and even track your child's location. Visit bark.us to learn more about how you can keep your kids safe online. Use the code COLLIDEKIDS to get 15% off your subscription of the Bark app.